Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes the three key necessities of human life: food, water, and fire, as part of His bounties to us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala points to the crops and reminds us that we as humans do very little in growing crops. We prepare the land and sow the seed, and later on cultivate it, but it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who germinates the seed into plants. Without this essential step, all other efforts are fruitless. Even beyond the initial germination, it is Allah who nurtures that seedling into a plant through a balance between water and sun. If He subhanahu wa ta'ala withholds rain or the sunlight, the entire crop would wither. And in such circumstances, the farmer has no recourse, no way to reverse the loss. He would only be left to utter words of remorse and grief. Next, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us in these verses of the blessing of water. It is a necessity of life. It is not only important for our crops and our animals, but human life depends on water. On an average, a person cannot live more than 3 days without water. And we find that there are three primary sources of water on earth: rainwater, groundwater, and surface water. None of them are in control of human beings. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions His blessings of producing rain from clouds, and actions that humans have no control over. In recent times, some countries use the method of cloud seeding to encourage rain, but it is still an imperfect science. Another source of water is surface water, like oceans, rivers, and lakes. Again, at best, humans can rechannel the water, but not really generate new sources of surface water. And finally, the groundwater, like wells and springs, which we tap into to fetch water, we have no control over increasing water flowing through them either. In Surah Mulk, ayat number 30, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قُلْ أَرَأَيْتُمْ إِنْ أَصْبَحَ مَاؤُكُمْ غَوْرًا فَمَنْ يَأْتِيكُمْ بِمَاءٍ مَعِينٍ. Say, if all your water were to sink away, who then can supply you with flowing water? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if He makes the surface of the water lower than what it is today, you can't even drill and bore into ground and create your wells, then what can you do? You are helpless. Another bounty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hinted in this verse is that He made the water sweet and drinkable. Humans cannot drink saline water. Imagine if all water available to us was bitter, how much hardship it would be to make it consumable. Today, many countries use a technology called reverse osmosis to desalinate water, but it remains a very inefficient process. Only when you learn about how difficult and costly it is to desalinate water that you probably appreciate Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's blessing and bounty in making fresh water available to us abundantly in nature. Alhamdulillah. The third necessity of life Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us of is fire. Indeed, fire is a necessity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions tree as a source to produce fire, but you can extend your imagination to all other fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has provided for us to generate fire. Do we have any control over increasing the production of fossil fuel? If you follow the research on alternative energy sources, you understand why the world is desperately looking for solutions like nuclear plants and electric cars to avoid depletion of fossil fuels.